Let's talk first about Kofi Annan and his meeting with Bashar al-Assad. He held a news conference in Damascus minutes ago. What did he say?
Well, he's been saying that it's time for the Syrian government to take bold action now to implement his peace plan that was supposed to go into effect 2 months ago. In the meantime, the United Nations Human Rights Commission, Hala, has come out with chilling details about the massacre of at least 109 people in that village of Hula last Friday, which have triggered a diplomatic firestorm. A spokesman for the Human Rights Office saying that basically government forces went house to house killing people.
A fairly small number appear to have been killed by shelling, artillery and tank fire, which took place over a period of more than 12 hours. But the majority appear to have been the result of house-to-house summary executions of armed men going into houses and killing men, women and children inside. What is clear is government forces were involved. They were shelling using tanks and artillery, and appears to be Shabiha militia entering the houses and slaughtering people in what is really an abominable crime that took place throughout the day on Friday.
Hala, the Syrian government has denied any links to the killings of 109 people in Hula, the killings of at least 49 children under the age of 10. And last night, the deputy foreign minister sat side by side with Kofi Annan and told journalists that, in fact, the Syrian government hasn't broken any part of the ceasefire plan over the course of the last 2 weeks. Take a listen.
During this time, Syria has not done a single violation of Annan's plan or the initial understanding between Syria and the United Nations. At the same time, the other party has not committed to a single point. This means that there is a decision not to implement Annan's plan and make it fail by the armed groups and the opposition.
I think it's safe to say that this man is making a bold-faced lie. Hala.
Well, let's talk a little bit about who might have committed this crime. And according to witnesses, some of whom have spoken to Human Rights Watch, and a child in particular, talking about men in civilian clothing. Now, one of the accusations coming from some of the witnesses is that those who have committed this house-to-house massacre could have been part of the irregular army loyal to the Alawite regime called the Shabiha. Can you tell us a little bit more about this group of armed men who are loyal to the Assad regime?
Absolutely. You know, the word Shabiha it roughly translates to ghost, but it's become part of the daily lexicon in Syria since the uprising began 15 months ago. And it's what Syrians use to refer to not only as the irregular militias that are loyal to Bashar al-Assad and that seem to be carrying out a lot of the violence against the Syrian opposition, but also to the troops in general. And we see again and again in the videos that stream out of Syria that there are these men sometimes dressed in blue jeans, in T-shirts, in some military paraphernalia as well, carrying weapons that are side by side with Syrian troops, armed, shooting, carrying out attacks, clearly cracking down on Syrian opposition. And these are some of the people who have been accused of some of the worst atrocities by the many refugees and defectors that I've talked to that have come across the border in the thousands, the tens of thousands here to Turkey. The use of these irregular militias gives the Syrian government some degree of cover, of deniability. They are able to say, no, listen, these are not Syrian troops and police that are carrying out these atrocities. These are armed gangs who, in fact, are often caught on camera chanting, "Long live Bashar al-Assad."